Do you know who Colin Sprake is? I didn't either, but look him up or watch this video because I'm about to meet him.
How are you, Gretchen?
Oh, wonderful.
Come on in.
I'm Gretchen Tauk. I am one of the current franchisee candidates here. I'm looking at considering local handyman, and I have a bunch of questions. I think you might have a bunch of questions. And Colin Sprake has sat down with me today, like so nicely, and agreed to answer my big list of questions. So, Colin, thank you so much. Are you ready?
I am ready, and it's great to be here with you, Gretchen. I know lots of people that might be watching have a lot of questions of where they want to go, what they want to do, and where they want to take their business to, and happy to answer anything that you have for me today.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to start with what's really the obvious one, which is what makes Local Handyman different from any other franchise opportunity that I might be considering.
We don't require brick and mortar, so that's a big thing for us. There's no physical structure. We are all about building out business owners, which is important to us. People that really want to build a business, but don't want to be a man in a van or be stuck in the truck, whatever you want to call it. So we are really focused on building business owners like yourself who want to go that next level, who want to be a business owner and eventually potentially be pretty passive from the investment itself and grow multiple territories. The other piece that's really unique about us is that we have really good margins. You know, a lot of other industries, whether it be the food industry or typically any other industries, the margins aren't always so great. We typically have a net margin of between 30 and 35%. That's also what makes us unique. And another thing that's outstanding is, honestly, without tooting my own horn, is being the person I am. I've been in the business coaching, training industry for nearly 25 years. I've coached and trained over 110,000 people across North America. And I love watching people achieve certain level of success. And the thing that fascinates me the most is taking that to the next level is what I'm all about. And of course, I've learned so much from the 25 years of doing this that I have brought all those tools and processes and systems into Local Handyman to help you get to the level that you want to get to, so that you can take the systems we've created and just follow them, as opposed to some university degree or some marketing degree where it's like, oh, these aren't in the trenches, on the street, doing it live. We take you and help you do that. We've learned everything you need to learn with all the people we've been through. And all I ever say to our franchisees is follow the system. It works.
I love that. And when we laughed at the beginning that you're the differentiator, for me, that was a really huge reason that I'm here and asking questions, is that to learn from a model you developed, given the experience you have in business, is so incredibly compelling for me. I've grown businesses before. I can get to a 7-figure business. I know that. But having a blueprint that says, like, just follow what Colin Sprake says to do, I can't wait. So, okay. But probably the biggest concern I had initially, other people have initially, this might not be obvious, not a handyman.
You might be a handy woman.
I'm not, nor am I a handy woman. Do I need handyman skills? Like, do the owners typically need to get in the van occasionally?
My answer to that is, I never want you in the van. I want you to be a business owner that hires the expertise of other people. You don't go to the plumber to get your hair cut. Go to the right people, hire the right people, build a really great business. So for me, yes, you can be a handyman. Sometimes finding yourself jumping in the van is where that temptation is. I'm like, no, I don't want you to be doing that. So I often will say to potential franchisees like yourself, please, if you don't have the experience of being a handyman, is actually a valid reason to join us. If you want to build a business and be a business owner, that's what I'm looking for.
So to be clear, it won't set me back that I don't have any handyman skills. That's not an actual problem.
100%. It's not a problem at all.
I guess the second thing I'm the most nervous about is this isn't like food where there's 1,000 teenagers who can flip burgers in every area. How am I going to be confident that I can find and hire handymen, like people who actually will drive the vans?
We've hired a lot of handymen over the years. We've hired a lot of people through the different companies we've owned. And one thing that I'm a big fan of is if you want loyalty, you've got to give loyalty as an employer. A lot of people will hire contractors, tradespeople, what have you, from different industries. They'll say, I'll pay you when we have work. We don't do that at Handyman. Handyman says, we say, we pay you full salary from day one. even if we can't afford to, and maybe profitability wise, you might be like, oh, I'm too concerned that in the first month we might not hit the profitability that we want. We found that when you hire and you pay them full salary from day one, you get a lot of loyalty from them. That's number one. And number two, we have this beautiful process called the hero hiring process. And that hero hiring process is all about how to take the system we've created on hiring. Like, it's not just going out and hiring a person, you're hiring someone from the trades industry. There's a process to that we've created and perfected and continue to improve. And the biggest myth I hear from a lot of people is that, it's very difficult to hire tradespeople. There's not that many tradespeople around.
Yeah.
For every ad we put out, the way we write our ad, we get on average 40 to 50 resumes, of which 10 of them are really highly qualified to become our next handyman.
It's amazing. And you teach that as part of the system, so I'm actually going to learn hiring from you.
You'll learn hiring. You'll actually learn how to retain. You'll learn leadership, because once you hire them, you can't be a jerk to them. You've got to be great to them. You've got to be kind. You've got to be a really good leader. We teach you leadership skills as well, so that you really understand how to be a great business owner, not just how to hire someone. That's easy. The hiring, I actually think, is the easiest part. It's retaining those amazing people, it comes down to leadership skills. It comes down to understanding who the individuals are and what motivates them.
Love it. What kind of support does Local Handyman, the corporate level, provide to their franchisees?
Wow. What don't we provide, to be honest? From hiring handymen, really supporting on how to hire effectively. We have the marketing support as well. We actually run a lot of the stuff internally at Local Handyman, because we know what business owners are challenged with. Business owners are challenged with hiring, they're challenged with doing bookkeeping, so we bring your bookkeeping in-house. We actually do that for you. Marketing, online marketing, we do in-house for you as well. And then we've got offline marketing we do as well, which we give you all the piece of design for you, created for you, so that you can go out and do all the marketing you need to do. So that's really on the sort of operational side, marketing side. And then, of course, when it comes to business knowledge, business education, like I said, over 25 years of experience. I've been doing this for years. If people research me online, they can research my name online, they'll find so much about me. I mean, I cannot hide on the internet. It's one of those things for me. So we've taken all those systems and processes where I'm probably one of the most highly paid coaches in North America. Like, clients work with me, pay me, $100, $150, $200,000 a year to work with me. All those proprietary systems are in Handyman for you to get to use, so you can be a better business owner. And I coached our first franchisees. We have a team. We'll continue to grow that team that will help coach continuously our franchisees to be better and get them all to what we call the President's Club, which is north of 7 figures in income, and of course at a really good, healthy 30 to 35% margin.
When I asked the question, probably the biggest thing on my mind was about marketing, but when I listen to you, I think there's so much more, and I'm grateful that you've thought it through beyond what my original questions here are.
Completely. Well, that's why you own a franchise. For a lot of people, why can't I just slap a logo on a van and go and start my own business?
Yeah.
Be my guest. Go do it. It's hard work. You haven't got the systems, the processes. The other thing I didn't mention is we have a proprietary system that does all the quoting, all the estimates, that does the invoicing. You can take payment right on site. It's all that stuff that's done for you. That would be a ton of work. I mean, our goal is, when you buy a franchise, it's virtually buying a business in a box that you wake up tomorrow morning and you go do, as opposed to you wake up, I've got a logo on my van, where do I find my next customer? How do I find my next customer? What do I do? You don't have to do that with us. Everything is done for you. The logo on the van is just a start for us. I mean, in fact, when you see our vans, you'll love how beautiful the vans are and how great the branding is for the company.
I love it. I now have to ask the question, my business in a box, how much is that going to cost me?
We say the maximum investment is about $100,000. That gets you everything you really need. That gets you, the franchise fee, which is $60,000, and then on top of that, about $40,000 is required to do all the licensing, the insurances, the bonding that's required as well, and to make sure that you get the van, which we lease as well, and the wrap on the van, and then a little bit of buffer cash to make sure that should you maybe not hit the results you do in month one, If you do not hit the results month one, you didn't follow the system. You follow the system, you'll be profitable month one. I'm actually a franchisee as well.
Really?
So as much as we have I'm one of the owners of the company. I have a territory that I own and run myself, and that territory was profitable from day one. We hired a guy full time. Exactly what we're going to teach you, we followed that system ourselves. And the reason why I started my own territory was to prove to myself, number one, that I wasn't just blowing smoke, and number two, to go to our franchisees and say, if I've done it, why don't you just follow the same system? So it's about $100,000 maximum investment to get going with the single territory.
Okay, so we covered how much it costs. That's sort of the tough part of this. Tell me about the income opportunities. Where can I hope to go if I execute this plan?
Well, the world's your oyster, to be honest, with us. We actually hope that you will own multiple territories because you see incredible success as you join us. Some people buy multiple territories off the bat. Very simply, we look at the formula of we want you to own 4 vans in 12 months and have 4 handymen up and running. That will take you to approximately $500,000 to $600,000 in your first year because you're adding vans in a staged process. So every 3 months you'd add a van, add another handyman. And then your second year, you should be pretty much joining the President's Club, which is our $1 Million Club. Where
Nice.
you now have 7 figures, you're growing. And of course, our margins are great. It does vary. Like I have to always make a disclaimer around, it varies from person to person, your ambition, your enthusiasm, and more than anything, following the freaking system, because that's why we create the system for you. So you can come out with between 30 to 35% net on a $1 million business. That's pretty freaking phenomenal. And you've paid everything. That's 30 to 35% net. Of course, you still have to pay some of the taxes on that, depending on your jurisdiction and what have you as well. But more than anything, it's healthy margins. And my goal is that you look at 1 territory, and then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and you just keep on growing. You do the numbers on that, it becomes pretty exponential and pretty much unlimited in income when you realize you're a proper business owner, not a man in a van.
And just actually circling back, like when we talked at the beginning about how, a lot of like the retail and the food franchises require a brick and mortar location. When you say it's paid off, it's doing it like, I know there's no brick and mortar, but like the vans are included in that like when you project out that this is all like those numbers,
Well, think about this, just give it perspective, Gretchen, is let's say the end of your first year, you've done 600,000. At a net of 30%, you're about 180,000. Like, let's be conservative. What did you invest to get in this?
Yeah, 100.
So you made your money back in less than a year. In fact, you've actually made your money back and made 80 grand. From the average person in a job right now, they might be earning 80 grand a year. You've invested 100, paid off your investment, and then the second year, you don't really have any, you're not looking for a return on investment. Well, actually you will be. It'll be territory 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you'll be adding. But then you'll be paying for those territories through the profits of your existing territory. And then from there, just building it out and continue to grow.
And like after I sign, how quickly can I launch my first territory? Like what's the typical timeline?
Well, the funny part is so many people want to launch quickly. There's just a process to it. There's a lot of paperwork, insurances, licenses, what have you, that we don't really control how quickly those happen. We say the average is between 6 to 8 weeks to launch from the day you sign the franchise agreement, make your payment, and to getting you up and running. There's a whole onboarding process we have. It's a really deluxe onboarding process to get you, like every other thing, you're like, oh, do I need this? Do I need that? It's all done. We'll help you get that all done, but it takes about, I'd say on average, it's 8 weeks to make sure you're up and running. You've hired your handyman through the hero hiring process, and you've got your van, it's wrapped, it's ready to go, it's all legal on the street, and got all the right licensing, and now you're up and running. And when you get running, we show you even before that how to start running your ads, doing your advertising 3 or 4 days prior to that. So when your handyman starts on that first day, they're actually busy.
Right.
So there's a whole process that we've developed to make sure that you're not like, oh, where's my handyman?
Right.
What's he doing? Is he busy? Like, no, you'll be busy from pretty much day one. And that's why I said to you earlier, that's why I launched my own territory, as a franchisee too. If you want to see how quickly we got the handyman up and running, and in our first 2 months, we were profitable month 1, and then month 2 profitable again, and now we're actually looking at hiring the second handyman, getting our second van even before month 3. So
Nice.
pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, now this is like the big topic, the big question. Territories. Like, are there good ones still available? How do I pick? Are you going to help me, advise me on pick? Like, what am I looking for? Tell me more about territory.
People say, well, city centers are the best. Like all the big cities in the world, like because they're high density, they're the best territories. I actually look for the best business owner. Because I know, one of our number 3 guy in the company right now has one of the smallest territories.
Oh.
One of the smallest obscure little markets in Alberta. So it's not, the territory is going to make you successful. It's actually you make the territory successful. So we do have lots of territories available. We do have tier 1, which are the main city centers. We do have a lot of other territories that people are looking at. But our number 1 goal is, for people to realize that these territories will go quickly. There's lots of people very interested in what we're doing, very interested in my background and what I bring to this company, and the different things I've been doing over time here with my business and my business coaching and training, that I'm like, we'll get you going. And when you realize what one territory can do, why wouldn't you have multiple and just continue to grow them?
That was actually going to be my next question. You're good with multiple territories? Like, if I wanted to have more than one, that's okay?
Well, I only want you to have more than one.
Okay.
So if you're like, I want to be the one-stop shop and just have one little territory and I'm happy, I'm okay with that to a certain extent. But I really want you to see the opportunity to realize I get an ROI, typically less than a year, maybe at a push, maybe 18 months, but typically less than a year. You've got your return on investment and you just take that money and you keep on growing that money, where eventually you could potentially be, forget about $1 million in revenue, you can be $1 million in profit.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, that's who I'd like everyone to be.
My final question is, I'm a franchisee candidate right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm eager to make it through the process, but actually more generally, like, what makes a successful franchisee? What do you look for? Or maybe even also, what can I take to heart going into this process to know what's going to put me on the right path to succeed?
I think you said it nicely. It's like, what's going to put you on the right path? I look for someone that has hunger. Les Brown says it beautifully. What differentiates a successful person from another person maybe not so successful? And it's like, you have to have hunger. You have to be ready to go. Once you've got that, to me, it's like a locomotive. It's like you've got this energy inside of you and you want to run. What does a franchise do? Lays the rails down and off you go. So put you on the right path to getting going quickly so that you can get the results that you're looking for. And it really does come down to attitude. I'm telling you right up front, you will have some challenges along the path. There'll be little hiccups along the way. If business was easy, everyone would do it, But I can tell you one thing, you persevere, you have the hunger, you have the right attitude, you will never look back. That's just the important piece for me. And if you have doubts of if it's going to work, then you probably shouldn't join us. If you believe, like my favorite 4 words is, believe, vibrate, radiate, receive. What you believe is what you vibrate, is what you radiate, is what you receive. When you believe it's possible and you have the right hunger and the right attitude, you will radiate that, you'll vibrate that, and you will receive that. You'll receive the success that you're looking for. And I know that you're capable of doing that. And anyone else that's really excited about where we're going and what we're doing will see the opportunity, seize it, be so grateful they did it, and go make a big impact on their families, and more importantly, be that ripple effect that makes a big impact on their communities as a whole as well.
I have to thank you. I'm so grateful for this time that you took. When I listen to how you talk about hiring or how you want the success of the partners and how they grow, that your values are such an inspiration. Honestly, it's so refreshing to be talking to a business person who is genuinely as insanely successful as you are, and yet so kind and down to earth, and with values that really reflect what I wish there was more of in the world. So it's been really wonderful to speak to you, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm really excited to be a part, I hope, in the future of this franchise.
Yeah, my pleasure as well, Gretchen. And I think, the nice part is, and thank you very much for your kind words. It really means a lot to me. My goal is that my values percolate through this entire company, and that, through my guidance, my leadership, that every one of our franchisees becomes the same way. that we got to make a really big difference in this world and not just be another franchise, but be a franchise that has impacted so many families, made a difference, and brought kindness to so many other people through charity work that we're going to be doing as well, and so many other great things that I know that people are capable of. This world is void of so many things right now. I want Handyman to be that, forget about fixing people's families or fixing, people's homes and dwellings and commercial properties. Let's be that handyman company that makes a difference in the world and really gives everybody a hand up in some way or form.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
If you, like me, have really started to fall in love with this franchise or are at all curious, I know there's going to be a quiz probably below this somewhere nearby, but a couple little questions you can answer to see if you're a good fit for this. Click on that. I'm here doing this because I wanted more information that people could find and hear and learn more, because the more I had conversations one-on-one with Colin, the more I really felt inspired and excited about what we're doing. So if you are in that category and think this would be something you'd like to learn more about, there will be a button, click it and take that next step.